Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a remarkable and intense event that's captured international attention. It's about how 34 Ukrainian drones managed to strike deep inside Russia, erasing what was reported to be a major UAV factory, and what happened afterward. This isn't just a story about one successful strike. It's about how modern warfare is changing before our eyes, how technology and strategy are evolving, and how this single event has sent shockwaves through both militaries and analysts around the world. To understand what makes this so significant, let's start with the broader picture. The war between Russia and Ukraine has already been shaped heavily by the use of drones. From small reconnaissance UAVs spotting enemy movements to long-range attack drones capable of hitting targets hundreds of kilometers away, both sides have turned the skies into a battleground. But this time, the story is about reach, precision, and audacity. Reports surfaced that a swarm of 34 Ukrainian drones penetrated deep into Russian airspace and hit a drone production facility, effectively disabling or destroying critical infrastructure that supported Russia's UAV manufacturing capabilities. For months, Ukraine has been building its drone program to compensate for the lack of traditional air power. By focusing on inexpensive but effective unmanned aerial vehicles, they have managed to challenge Russia's industrial and logistical backbone. What's fascinating here is that this attack wasn't just about taking out soldiers or tanks on the front line. It targeted the industrial heart of Russia's war production. Hitting a UAV factory means slowing down the very machine that fuels future attacks. That's what makes this operation so strategic and far-reaching. Now, imagine the logistics and coordination behind something like this. Flying drones hundreds of kilometers into Russian territory isn't simple. It requires precise navigation, control, and timing. Ukrainian engineers and operators would have had to coordinate the flight paths to ensure saturation of Russian air defenses. That means overwhelming radar systems, forcing them to respond to dozens of simultaneous threats at once. Some drones are intercepted, but others slip through, and just one or two reaching their target can be enough to create devastating results. According to multiple reports, the Russian side claimed they intercepted over 100 drones that night, with 34 approaching the Moscow region alone. Whether those numbers are exaggerated or not, the fact remains that the Russian air defense network was tested on a scale rarely seen before. The attack caused temporary closures of airports, widespread alarms, and panic in several regions. Even if most drones were intercepted, the disruption itself was a victory for Ukraine, proving that Russia's homeland is no longer off limits. When the Ukrainian drones struck the UAV factory, explosions and fires reportedly broke out at the site. Video footage shared on social media and analyzed by open-source intelligence groups appeared to show flames rising from industrial structures believed to be part of the drone production network. While Russia's Ministry of Defense tried to downplay the incident, satellite imagery and local eyewitness accounts confirmed significant damage. It's still unclear exactly how much of the facility was destroyed, but analysts suggest that even a temporary halt in production could slow Russia's ability to replenish its own drone fleet. What's striking about this incident is how it demonstrates the evolution of modern warfare. In past conflicts, hitting a factory deep inside enemy territory required bomber aircraft, missiles, and massive logistical planning. Today, small, relatively inexpensive drones can achieve similar strategic results. The balance of power between offensive and defensive technology is shifting. Ukraine, by using swarms of drones, is applying asymmetric warfare principles to a high-tech battlefield, forcing Russia to spend millions on interceptors and anti-air systems just to counter low-cost UAVs. The economic and psychological impact of such attacks is profound. For Russia, it shows vulnerability on its own soil, something that hasn't happened on this scale since the early days of the war. For the Russian public, it raises questions about whether the state can truly protect its own industrial heartlands. And for Ukraine, it's a powerful message both to its allies and to its adversary, that it can strike where it hurts most, even without traditional air superiority. After the attack, Russia responded with intensified air defense drills and new measures to protect critical infrastructure. They also announced plans to move certain production facilities further inland, away from the reach of long-range drones. But that in itself is costly and time-consuming. Relocating factories, retraining workers, and securing new locations all take months, if not years. Meanwhile, Ukraine continues to refine its drone designs, increase range, and improve navigation systems. making each new strike potentially more precise than the last. The immediate aftermath of this strike also sparked a wave of political and media reactions. Russian officials accused NATO of indirectly aiding the operation by providing intelligence support, while Ukrainian representatives maintained that this was a purely defensive action aimed at reducing Russia's capacity to continue the invasion. Western analysts noted that such deep strikes could change the trajectory of the conflict by forcing Russia to divert resources from the front lines to defend its own rear areas. The human element of this story shouldn't be overlooked either. Inside these factories are thousands of workers, technicians, engineers, logistics personnel, who suddenly find themselves on the front line of a technological war. The line between civilian and military infrastructure becomes blurred when factories produce weapons or drones used in combat. The fear and uncertainty this generates ripple through communities, making industrial centers potential battlegrounds in an unconventional war. What makes this event particularly fascinating is how it ties into the broader global trend of drone warfare. Around the world, militaries are watching closely. The effectiveness of Ukraine's drone tactics could redefine military doctrine for decades to come. Small countries or those without vast air forces are realizing that drones offer a relatively affordable way to project power and defend sovereignty. This is warfare in the digital age, fought as much with algorithms, navigation software, and AI-assisted targeting as with traditional soldiers and tanks. But as powerful as this tactic is, it also raises questions. When does a drone strike become a strategic escalation? Could such attacks provoke stronger retaliation? What are the limits of unmanned warfare before it spirals into a new form of conflict, where industrial and civilian infrastructure are perpetually at risk? These are questions military thinkers and policymakers are now struggling with. For now, though, one fact remains clear. Ukraine's drone campaign has altered the rhythm of the war. Each successful strike deep inside Russia forces a recalibration of defenses and strategies. The attack on the UAV factory showed that even a country with extensive air defense systems and vast territory is not immune to technological warfare. It's a reminder that innovation, adaptability, and intelligence can often outmatch size and resources. In the weeks that followed, reports suggested that Russia increased its efforts to jam and disrupt drone communications, developed new radar systems, and even explored AI-based early warning solutions. But the psychological impact had already been made. The idea that a swarm of small drones could reach so deep and cause such disruption was enough to shift both morale and strategy. As for Ukraine, this event stands as one of the clearest demonstrations of its growing military sophistication. Despite limited resources, it continues to use technology, creativity, and resolve to offset Russia's numerical superiority. The drone strike isn't just about destruction, it's about deterrence, signaling, and innovation. It tells the world that the future of warfare belongs to those who can adapt faster, think smarter, and use technology to outmaneuver traditional might. In conclusion, the story of the 34 Ukrainian drones that erased a Russian UAV factory is much more than just another wartime headline. It's a glimpse into the future, a future where wars are fought not only with missiles and tanks, but with networks of autonomous systems, digital intelligence, and precision coordination. It shows us how determination and technological ingenuity can level the battlefield between unequal powers. And most importantly, it reminds us that in modern warfare, the line between safety and vulnerability is thinner than ever. Thank you for watching till the end. If you found this discussion insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What do you think this means for the future of global conflicts? Will drone warfare continue to evolve and redefine strategy across the world? Let me know what you think. And as always, stay informed, stay thoughtful, and I'll see you in the next video.